Welcome back to the Strength and Speed Podcast. I'm your host, Strength and Speed owner and Conquer the Gauntlet Pro, Evan Prepares. I got a guest with me on the line. Before we get to him, though, quick word from this episode's sponsor. So this episode is brought to you by Exoskin. If you're not familiar with Exoskin, they make racing apparel. Now, I've been using Marina Sport shorts for the last couple of years, and I really enjoy them, but if you're not tracking, Marina has discontinued their sport line, they're in the process of discontinuing it, essentially. So I've been looking for like a new compression shorts, and I think I found it. So Exoskin, veteran-owned company, 100% made in the USA. And like the first thing I noticed when I got the shorts is like they're like super stretchy in like all directions. So they're super interesting feel. But I've worn them for a couple training runs so far, really enjoying them. And I think that's going to be my switch. I think that's going to be my go-to shorts from now on. Also, they've got like this, it's called Rapid Dry Copper Fabric. So it's supposed to be like, supposed to kind of repel water and stay cleaner, essentially. So, yep. Check Motor and Guide. I'm eventually going to publish a review on there, and I'm going to race in them for the first time April 18th at KC Timber Challenge, the OG Timber Challenge that they have going on. So come out to that, and you can check out the shorts while I'm out there. And they also make socks. I haven't really gotten a chance to test out the socks too much, but yeah, lots of good products there. And if anyone wants to pick some up, you can use code STRENGTH20 and save 20% off your order. And lastly, they have a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So if anyone wants to head over and check out Exoskin, I believe the website is exoskin.us, and we're going to have some of their guests coming up on the podcast. They got some pretty big names in the ultra running world that I'm super excited to bring on. All right, let's jump into today's content. Joining me, I have David Mainprize, owner of Young Lions OCR, co-founder of Conquer the Gauntlet, and co-owner of Battle of the Lions. David, welcome.
How's it going, Evan?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good to have you on. And I wanted to kind of cover a lot of different topics today, so I just grabbed you so we can kind of breeze through this stuff. I know the Battle of the Lions has a whole crew, right? You guys got a lively crew,
Absolutely.
Brenna and Sid and everyone. And I knew if I brought everyone on, we would get immediately sidetracked. So
yes, I will tell all the stories about them, and then you can have them on to tell their versions.
But we know yours is going to be better and more accurate. So we'll stick
Well,
with
absolutely, of both. Yes. So, here's a question: What is this OG Timber Challenge? I want to know more about that. I gotta be there. What is that?
So that's just like their normal KC Timber Challenge course. They call it the OG Timber Challenge because it doesn't have like
Okay, I like that.
some sort of unique theme, right? The Extreme Timber Challenge is like every piece of trail, every obstacle.
Got it.
The women's one is the women's only race for men in drag. The family one is the short version, and this is kind of like more like the original. So basically about a 5K course. And,
Very cool. Okay.
Kind of like
Nice.
the CTG XTC, but they have upgraded their obstacles several times. I mean,
Very cool.
like the XTC part of CTG XTC.
I've seen they have some awesome stuff now.
Yeah. The XTC part
Yes.
of CTG XTC was
That's awesome.
was not good back in the day, but now it's phenomenal. I'll just be honest.
How many times
right?
can you say XTC? Yes.
All right, so let's jump into today's content.
I'm
Right,
glad
so
that they have a good course now.
yeah. We also have a delay here, so if me and Dave are talking over each other, that's part of the reason. I'll try to fix some of it in post, but that's what's going on. So let's jump into the content. So Battle of the Lions, you could say new series. It's a new collaboration. Dave, obviously, and then you're partnered with Sydney Morris, right? So owner of Battle OCR.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got 4 events coming up this year.
Yes, sir.
And a ton of great stuff. I've heard the founding
so much
story
great stuff.
on some of the other podcasts and some of the other interviews like Brett did for Motor and Guide. So let's start off, give me a quick rundown of the series and kind of what makes it unique as compared to all the other OCRs.
Sure. Yeah, so Battle of the Lions, really, at the end of the day, like you guys have probably heard on some of these other shows, it's a partnership between me and Sydney. With Sydney being, very passionate about build and obstacle courses, and me being very passionate about obstacle courses as well, and really working on the other side of things, doing admin, doing marketing, promoting, just all the other side of stuff, to where we have different skill sets coming together and making the series. The series is what I'm really excited about. I don't really care to talk about myself too much, but the series is amazing. So we have the Battle of the Lions. That's me and Sid. So this year is going to be the OCR tour, kind of like the OG. This is the OCR tour. So we split it out. We took all of his obstacles and his obstacle ideas and divided them up. So we got 4 courses this year. The first course is coming up real soon. Today's April 8th. We're recording this. And the first race is May 1st in Dallas. So that's coming right around the corner. That's going to be the grip course. So that one's called Complector. With each course, we have, a theme that's not just based on the skill set of the course, but it's also going to be based around the partners. We have a color for each race, a weapon, and a name of each event. So if you want to see all those details, head over to the site. But we're doing 4 events. We got grip, like I said, coming up super soon. Then we got strength course. That's going to be Kansas City. So that's going to be a strength-based course. That'll be 3 miles and 30 obstacles. When you guys go on, you see our obstacle counts. Each of our courses is going to be 20 standardized type obstacles that will have twists based possibly on what the course is, whether it's a grip course or a strength course. And then the additional above 20 obstacles will be specific to that course. So for the grip course, it's 40 obstacles. So 20 of those are going to be some kind of grip, whether that's a farmer's carry, a drag, a rig, whatever it might be. The strength course will have 10 additional. So on top of the 20, so you're going to have 10 obstacles. That one's partnered with brute force. So you're going to see a lot of brute force stuff, a lot of sandbags, maybe some obstacle depot plates. Then the next event is on August 7th. That's going to be the endurance event for you long distance people. So it's going to be a 5-mile course, and we're actually going to have the elites running 3 laps of that. So that's going to be a course where the obstacles, especially the standard set, are going to be more simplified, because you're going to be doing 3 laps of those. And then the last course of the year, the standard course, is what we're calling basically everything mixed together with a lot of fun stuff. So that's going to be a 4-mile course in Little Rock to end the year on October 9th. And with that one, we're going to put our 20 obstacles out there that we think are the standards, the crawl, the rope climb, the rig. And then we're going to have everyone else vote on what other obstacles we need to put in. So each of the courses has its own theme, and then a lot of fun stuff, like just a few of the things I just mentioned to really make it a phenomenal, not just an event, but a whole event weekend in a series.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds great. Can you give us any sneak peeks on some of do you have any of the unique, some sort of BOTL? BOTL.
It's easier to say bottle.
Some of the bottle specific obstacles. Have you drawn up any of the plans or have them kind of tested them out already?
Yeah, so that's Sydney's deal. You should actually, I think you said you were going to. You should definitely have him on before Dallas if you can for a build episode. So I won't steal all his thunder, but I'll just say that he's a sick mastermind at putting together awesome things that everyone can do, but everyone's not going to, want to do necessarily at the time. But it's going to be fun. For the grip course, so each race has a Latin word that is associated with it, and then we're going to do an obstacle that is going to be that course's obstacle. So the Complector obstacle will be the grip course obstacle. So for that race, I will just say that one will involve, what kind of hints can I give here? How about weaving will be a part of it. And you will not ever go very high off the ground. It will not just be weaving, though. So it's going to be a combo obstacle involving a ton of cardio and grip.
Ooh, I like it.
So each course, like I said, and each course will have a specific obstacle that is just going to be unique to that course. It'll be the grip course obstacle, the strength course obstacle. And then you'll probably see all those, come together at the end of the year.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned your first event's coming up. First weekend in May at the Dallas venue. Have some of the people from Dallas been to that venue before, and kind of what makes it unique?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'll just talk about Dallas for a sec. So I just kind of went through that grip course new obstacle. That'll be the Dallas obstacle. Then that's at DFW Adventure Park. So a lot of races have been held there. Don't necessarily know all of them offhand. I know Conquer the Gauntlet's been there. I believe Muckfest has been there. A couple other of the mud runs and a couple of OCRs back when there was a million OCRs. So that course has been used a lot. Also, I believe the Lone Star Spartans and Miles Keller, several others have used that as obstacle training grounds. So on the way back, if you guys have heard, me and Sydney have been traveling around the country. On the way back from South Carolina the other week, actually, me and Sarah and the group stopped in at the course and talked to the owner, did a big walkthrough. And we actually, if you've been there before, you're actually not going to recognize where we're headed. So that's going to be neat because we're going to bring you guys in a different way. You're not going to have to walk down the paintball road anymore. We're going to have a new entrance. And then we're going to be using new parts of course that hasn't been used, as well as land that he just got. So we'll just, I don't know what all I can say on this podcast. We'll say it's an area that Benny Gifford has not been, but others have. We're going to use more of that space. And across that huge ravine, we're going to be able to use across the creek bed. So we're going to use some spots over there. It's going to make it a much more unique run than just the trail run with some mud that it's been before.
Gotcha. Also sounds awesome.
Yes.
Let's talk about
as far as the DFW other stuff, so I just got out of an 8-hour graphics and orders and design meeting. So we've got tomorrow I'll be releasing, you guys will see the full finisher pack for Dallas, which it took a long time to get the way that I wanted it to be and the way we wanted it to be, but we got it. So everyone will be getting a shirt reveal tomorrow, the medal reveal, and then you guys have seen the hex. We have a guy who's making those as pin-on buttons, so everyone will get one of those. It's going to be a cool finisher piece. What else?
Let's talk sponsors.
What else can I tell you, Evan, about DSW?
Any specific sponsors that are aligned with DFW?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll give a shout out to our, presenting sponsor, Mud Gear. And let's talk about what about if I reveal the pro prize package here? Can I talk about that? Is that too much?
Yeah, let's
for the
do
audience?
it.
Can they handle that?
I don't know.
I guess it makes sense that you are the ultimate pro. We will reveal the pro pack on your show. It makes sense, right?
Sure.
So thanks to Mud Gear, we're going to be doing first place $500 male and female. And so Mud Gear is making this happen with us. We've got second place female and male will get $300 cash. And then the third place will get $200 cash. That's male and female. So that's, first of all, amazing. Shout out to Mud Gear. You guys go applaud them. Buy something from their website. That's my shameless plug of the night. And then listen to this. So Evan, I think you'll love this. So you guys are going to get your wristband that will get cut on course if you can't complete the obstacles. If you complete the obstacles, you're getting a special hex that I'm not going to reveal until hopefully right at race day, but it is awesome. The winner will get an actual real complector sword. So they'll get a grip course sword that Sydney's making, in addition to the $500 cash. Now here, listen to this list. Tell me if this sounds good to you. You get a brute force black and gold sandbag, which you can brand with our stuff.
What?
At the race. You get an OD plate. You've seen those?
Yeah.
These things are badass. It's by Obstacle Depot. Ours is charcoal black or like flat black with a gold cord on it. You get a Force 5 grip. This is the first place guy, and male and female. They get a case of Juice Performer, yoked, Gooders, squirrel nut butter, and Mud Gear socks.
Damn.
That's just first place. That's first place male and female. So both of them get that. And then the second place, yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's all because of these partners.
That's insane.
Second place is getting some mud. So everybody on the podium gets Mud Gear socks. They also get Force 5 grip, Juice Performer, and yoked. And they'll get a smaller sword. And then the third place will get a sword as well, a smaller sword, $200 cash, like I mentioned. And then they'll get socks, a Force 5 grip, Juice Performer, and yoked.
Damn.
So that's the entire podium pack for first place, second place, third place overall, male, female. And then we got some cool stuff. We got masters too. So of course you guys get your finisher packs, and then you'll get your pro finisher pack if you finish all the obstacles. And then the masters guys and girls will get a small sword, a pair of Gooders, a case of Juice Performer, yoked. I believe it's 2 packets of yoked, and squirrel nut butter as well. So there you go.
I mean, so the Midwest typically has a little bit smaller prizes because our population density is lower, so there's less people at the races. But
yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
These are the biggest prizes I think that have been offered in the Midwest, almost period. I mean, there's been like a one or two.
Yeah, I mean, if you total it all up, it's insane.
Right. Yeah. Because 500 for
If you went and
cash,
you bought all of that.
and then if you tried to buy all of that, I mean, that's probably almost another $500 worth of other random stuff. And that, when I say random stuff, it's stuff that you're going to use.
Minimum.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all cool stuff. That's the thing. We didn't just partner with, Walmart or something. We wanted to go and get the stuff. And this is all thanks to you, obviously, and everybody that's been building this all up with us. These partners are people that we believe in. For real, these are partners that we believe in that do OCR stuff. And so we wanted to go out and make sure that was represented in the packages that the pros get. And it's not just the finishers. If you run the Pro Wave, you get access to the Pro Zone over there. So there's going to be a nice Pro Zone area with tent and gear. I believe Brenda's got you guys set up with yolk samples, squirrel nut butter, and Volition. That's Alexis from Kansas City. She's doing chiropractic care for every person before the race if they come in time. So it's going to be a neat setup for everyone who's coming to, because that's the thing is OCR, it's changing. A large majority of the people that are going to be a lot of the events this year are going to be those people who want to run pro or who are invested in the sport. So, we want to make sure that we're investing back in that population.
I love this. I mean, this is so cool. I know I've been on some of the backside stuff, so I've heard some of this before, but a lot of this actually is new to me, mostly because you guys put out too much information.
We've been holding this close to the vest and making sure it was all set.
Yeah.
So this is all going to come out tomorrow. I guess you're going to release this. Are you going to release this podcast tomorrow?
I'm going to try to release it tonight. Basically, I'm going to try to record it and then punch it out right away. Yeah.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean.
DFW specific. So each of the courses has partners like.
All right, I'm going to jump in real quick. You mentioned all this stuff, and one of the things, one of the very first OCRs I went to, probably like the third one, was Warrior Dash World Championship out in California. And one of the things I thought that was so cool,
California.
Yeah, was they treated us differently, right? Like they were like, oh, here's the pro tent, here's all this additional swag and stuff for signing up for essentially we qualified for the Pro Wave at the World Championships, and it was nice. It was like a really nice touch. It was like, I'm investing a lot of time and effort and travel into this, and I feel like I'm being treated. I feel like I'm being treated really well. And I feel like you guys are taking that similar approach, kind of very similar to the approach we have at OCR World Championships, right? Where, it's an athlete's first type approach and applying it to a national series here in the U.S. So I love it.
Absolutely.
Now,
it's going to be amazing. And to jump in back on those partners and the Pro Pack, these aren't just random partners. We try to make everything really makes sense from a value perspective for them. So, the grip course isn't just random partners. The grip course in Dallas is Force 5, which builds grips. Right. It's Juice Performer, which is specifically blood flow, fuel, which is very important for grip. And then Strong as Oak, if you guys know anything about that team, they're our training partner. They basically specifically train grip all year long. So each of the races has a partner package that's set up specifically for that race.
I love it. It makes so much sense. I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I sat through some of the meeting between you and Yoked and some of the other bottle employees, and it was.
Yes.
I mean, it was like, companies helping other companies, right? It's not like who's trying to milk the other side for like the most benefit. It was like, well, let's just work together and like make things happen and do good work together. And it was like really kind of refreshing to see. I loved it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, you got to find who you're synergistic with, who you have connections that make sense with. And that's the whole point of putting these sponsors together like this and these partners is that, it doesn't make sense for an endurance company to sponsor the grip course, So when we put it together the way you're talking about, then they see the value, and that's what really makes sense, and that's why they were able to provide all of this, for the races this year. It's gonna be amazing. What else can I tell you about this exciting news for the night? How about let's talk some future bottle stuff.
Let's do it. What do you got?
Oh man, so I don't know about you, but I really like the OCR tour, like as far as being our OG thing. So I think we kind of finalized plans to keep the grip, strength, endurance standard, in the Midwest, continuing forward. And then hopefully next year we're adding a second part of the tour as well as a full battle OCR. So if you guys don't know or you hadn't heard a ton about Sydney, you may have seen him in OCR WC pictures. But if you're not from the South, you may not know about his series. So he's been doing battle OCR and building up that brand for several years. It's a 1 or 2 time a year event, where he brings out literally like 80 scaffolding obstacles, and literally spends a month building it. So he's, obviously with COVID, shut down every OCR, including his, as far as he didn't do an event in 2020 after his very early one in the year. So he's looking to get that back up. So we really want to have that be the capstone of each year, to where, we're obviously pushing all of our stuff. We're going to OCR WC and then eventually doing a battle OCR at the end of the year as well. So all of that is all in the works with us. It's going to be amazing.
I'm super excited. I feel like over the last year, we've seen everyone's downsized, or, Tough Mudder went out of business and then essentially was bought and is hopefully starting back up here again in 2 weeks. But it just feels like less of everything. And it's so refreshing to have like something new, something exciting. And, two people who are very passionate about OCR and surrounded by a team of other passionate people, right? Because I know who's running around on some of your staff.
Exactly.
There, so it's not just people who are like, I'm here for a quick paycheck. It's like, I'm here because I love OCR and I love this community and I want to make OCR thrive.
Absolutely. And that goes to even a deeper level of why we started doing the business. I mean, really everything about the brand is like a hex. It really connects and it comes full circle. Literally we started this because we were passionate about something and it got shut down. And to your point, with the downsizing and just in general, everyone's attitudes seem to be so negative and so down about things. And like, I understand that. I get that. I've been that way too. And it's easy to get that way. But, if we're going to be passionate about anything, but especially OCR, no one's going to restart this industry for us. There's not some government czar that says, okay, go to OCRs again. And then it starts, like we have to be that, for whatever it is we love doing in our lives. We have to be willing to stand up and say, all right, well, I'm going to be one of the people who gets it going again. And that's the point of the Battle of the Lions partnership, the partnerships we have with other people. And then just kind of, our call to action is time to go do it. Our call this year is, you guys have been on the website, the road to glory starts here. And what we're saying is, we can't get going again until we get going again. So we have to be the ones to do it. So get on board.
Right. Yeah. Someone's got to be first. Let's do it. Now.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
You mentioned the awesome prize pack for podium. Let's say I'm an athlete who's consistently maybe falls just off the podium, right? Or maybe I'm an age group guy. Like my goal is to like do really well in the age group category. And I'm not the type of guy who's going to be on the overall podium. What kind of, why would I come, or, what's another reason for me to come to Battle of the Lions?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's several, obviously. I would say to start with, that pro wave and that pro zone is going to be really neat. The whole point is you're going to be coming in to compete at an event and do an entire weekend of OCR, connection with people. So, we have the tour guide set up to where people know where we're eating the night before, where we're eating the night after, have different hangouts set up to where when you come in, it's basically like an athletes meeting, athletes hang out. And really, as you know, Evan, sometimes races can be stressful or really exhilarating, but there's rarely a ton of like great conversation after, especially when people got to get on the road or get to their flights or get on the podium or go run a third lap or a 10th lap. And so it really makes it to where when you come into our events, you are going to be connecting with these people. And that's when you really get those good friendships going. And when you really honestly make, life connections, business connections, everything. So, if you're looking for a place to get to know the OCR athletes and get your foot in the door or, just get your toes wet on competing, this is a great spot to do it. I already mentioned, the yolk samples, the squirrel nut butter, volition, chiropractic, all of that's going to be, available to you whether you make podium or not. And then of course, when you cross the finish line, we're going to have some great finisher swag. So definitely look for that tomorrow. I'm not going to reveal the final pieces because I want to save those, but there's going to be some neat pieces that you get if you just complete all the obstacles. Some really neat pieces that you won't be able to ever get again. We're not just going to duplicate, designs or whatever. So these are going to be neat marquee pieces. And then the fact that, you're not going to be running in a huge group of people. So again, you're going to get really good a chance to see how other people do the obstacles. And to the obstacle point, if you're looking to train or qualify for OCRWC, this is an amazing place to do it because Sydney designs OCRWC obstacles. We're going to have several things very similar to what they have, if not exactly the same, because they're Sydney's obstacles.
Right.
In addition to that, I don't know how many qualifiers there are if you're looking to run pro at OCRWC, because I believe this year you can age group without qualifying. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It may not be correct, but is that correct? Cool. So definitely, I don't know how many places you can do that. If you do live in the Midwest, you'd have to check me on that one.
There's not many.
If you're looking to go pro.
Yeah,
there's not many. So
there's only a couple. Otherwise, you got to travel really.
One of the. Yeah, I'm assuming Savage is still is that still one of them on the list?
Yeah, so they basically do Dallas and kind of Chicago, and then there's kind of a big gap in the middle of the country.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are they a qualifier, right?
Yeah, they're a qualifier. Rugged Maniac's still a qualifier. That's one of the
only other traveling series I can think of. Okay, Rugged.
But they haven't held an event, and I can't even keep track anymore. But it's been a hot minute, so who knows?
Yeah, so on May 1st, you guys can qualify for pro.
Right. Yeah. Good opportunity. What about let's talk point series?
How about this? How about merch?
Okay, let's talk. Series, merch. Let's do merch first. People like swag. I like swag.
So we'll save it. Let's do the point series first.
Okay.
For the point series, so this is the thing we're just slowly rolling out. We're not trying to become too many things at once, but this is something we want to put out this year, if nothing more than just a feeler thing. And I've heard back from a lot of people that they want to know more and check it out. And so it's something we definitely want to build for the future, especially with the OCR tour being the 4 events that are really 4 core OCR elements, the grip, the strength, endurance. We have a point series set up where you can go online and pay and basically join the league. And at each event, you're going to get points, based on your attendance, obstacle completion, and overall placement and age group placement. Different pieces, that are going to play into the point series. And not just for the one race, but it totals up throughout the year for a cumulative set to where, if you're attending all the races, you have a pretty good chance of scoring well. And then there's going to be prizes, based on registrations for that and based on where you place. So we really want to get to where we have a really solid crew competing, because as you saw, we have a pretty good podium payout and set up. And so we want to get, a lot of people coming to compete in the pro wave. And we really want to do that not just at one race. We want it to really have the feel of a series where you're coming to get not only your points, which is a good selling point to your earlier concept of people who don't make podium. You might make 5th every time and win the entire point series because the guy who won first is probably really good and may not come back to the races. So, the point series is where you can, the great equalizer is the classic Evan, just consistency.
Yeah.
Showing up,
I love that. Blind persistence. I love it.
Evan wants to win the point series. Yes, blind persistence. If you're someone who, and think about this, if you're someone who scores well, that means that you're probably an overall athlete, not necessarily elite at one thing or the other. You can do the grip course. You can do the strength course. You can finish the 15 miles on the endurance, and you can knock out the standard with all the different obstacles. So, if that appeals, I know a lot of guys, I'll call out some right now, like Jacob Stone, Andy Schwinner, great athletes that are never going to necessarily be on an overall podium maybe, but they're always going to be in that top 5, top 10, top 15, and they're always going to complete every obstacle. Yeah. And I think that's what the point series is really geared towards, is getting to test yourself against a group throughout the year, and seeing where you stack up.
Yes. Love it. Absolutely.
Honestly, I want to compete in the point series, honestly. But we need a short course first.
Yeah.
For me, you know.
We'll have a journeyman point series with just you. You'll be the only competitor.
That's perfect, actually.
For those of you who don't know.
So how about merch?
Oh, yeah, let's do like merch.
We don't need anyone else to know that, Evan. We're good.
If you know me and David and Brenna, then you know what I was about to say. So you can go back and listen to an old David episode. All right, let's talk merch.
Jeez. Okay, so merch, obviously I'm going to sit here and say merch is going to be really cool, but it's going to be really cool for a different reason than just the design factor. So playing into the whole concept of the hexes, the point series, the connectivity of everything we're doing, our merch is going to be the same way. So without revealing too much, I will say the merch store will be up in a week, I believe, online, and then we'll have obviously the pieces at Dallas. We're going to do an add-on shirt for each of the 4 races. So, you'll get your finisher shirt, and then we'll have another cool grip core shirt that you guys can get. There'll be one for each event, and then we're going to have an overall tour shirt. And if you know anything about me and bands and tours, then you can rest assured that that's going to be literally an epic thing that has not just something to the shirt, but pieces you can connect on, and build an entire, I don't know if I want to call it quite a wardrobe, but you'll be able to build something on the shirt. So that's going to be neat, as well as all the normal stuff like the water bottles and that stuff. So any of that you order before the race, you can pick up at Dallas, and then we're going to have it all. Anything that we advertise on the site, we'll have at least several of for the Dallas race as well. So that will be coming soon. And, mud gear socks. As you guys have seen, we have those mud gear socks. I believe we're going to have those for sale soon. Going to be giving out some soon. And then we'll, of course, have all of them at Dallas. And I believe they're going to sell out at Dallas because they're those nice, cool new crew socks they have that are good for rucking, OCR, or just, wearing around. So they're giving those. And they're also, they're going to have some mud gear jerseys. So there'll be a lot of good merch. Bring your cash, bring your card.
Yeah. Did you guys publicly release the design of the mud gear sock already? I can't even remember. I can't remember what's public and what's not.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
and you'll see it in all the stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big. Yeah, I believe they announced that. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, we definitely did.
Okay.
But it was just on Instagram. Tomorrow you'll see it in emails and all the finisher swag and all the merchant swag that we're announcing tomorrow. You'll see it all. That's going to be part of that pro pack. So that'll be everywhere. I'm sure if you guys just stick around, Brennan will get it on every page you're in. So no worries on that end.
Right on. Well, this sounds.
But for real. I mean, it's going to be all over tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we're going to push this out. As soon as I record this, I'm going to push it out with all of its annoying lag in between me and you talking and stepping on each other. But I want to get the information out as soon as possible.
You're not going to edit it at all?
No, we're doing it live. F it. So.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care. If you want to say something bad about me online, I rarely get online, so do it.
Oh, good stuff.
Just come to the grip course and talk to me.
Yeah, good plan. I will be there. That's the plan, at least.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm really excited. My boss told me he doesn't need me for the one I was supposed to work the weekend of Kansas City, and now I'm apparently going to be free. So I'm really excited for that. So.
Cool, man. I can't wait. We're going to get it
going.
going.
Of the country when the race was like 20 minutes from my house, which is frustrating. So.
The race comes very close, and all of a sudden you have to leave.
Yeah. All right. We covered a lot of, I know that we can probably talk about Battle of the Lions all day, but any other final teasers or things you want to highlight before we move on to some Young Lion stuff?
No, I mean, I think there's going to be sales starting up tomorrow with all those announcements. Look for that. And just, if you're not signed up for Dallas, trust me, you absolutely need to be there.
Sounds good. Now, you're still running Young Lions, correct?
Absolutely.
And how does that tie into Battle of the Lions at all? Like, are the events on the same weekend or same location too, or nearby location?
Mm-hmm. Same location. So we've got for the 4 Battle of the Lions events, the Young Lions event will be there on that day in that same place. And then we have 10 other events across the country that we're doing in other cities. So yeah, Young Lions is still going strong. There'll be a kids race. The Young Lions obstacle course will be at each of the Battle of Lions, like I said. Then we'll have other cities. So Young Lions OCR is the website if they want to see the other cities we're going to. If you're someone who does OCR, but you don't necessarily live in Dallas or Oklahoma City or whatever, find us at one of those races. Those are fun areas to hang out and get the next generation involved in the sport. Then I also have the local course, which, especially with COVID, has become the only really source of income until we got this Battle Alliance started, and that's going to hopefully become something as well. So I have the local course here, which is really a fulfilling and actually the most fun piece of all of this that we've just discussed tonight, because it's where I get to actually get to know people and, coach and grow the sport from a one-on-one, each day perspective. So we have a really lucky and awesome setup here where I live in Tahlequah. So if you're not familiar with Tahlequah, which you probably aren't, it's actually a really cool little city in Oklahoma. It's right on the Illinois River. So our big industry is like, raft tours and like just summer fun stuff. And then there's a college here, but beyond that, there's not a whole ton. And so I have this awesome spot where I've got the Young Lions obstacle course where you've been. We did a little adult event last year. So I get to do classes there pretty much every day, for the first half of the week. We've got a little advanced group of kids who are just so awesome. And they're probably going to be like beating us soon, dude. They're so good. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we've got a good program going with that. And they get to get out and, compete at some of the local ninja stuff. And some of the local ninja places has kind of been cool, have been bringing over their ninja kids and doing our OCR and ninja course, because we have kind of 2 setups. I have a ninja zone and then I have an obstacle course. And so that's been neat. So yeah, the kids stuff is going good. It's really a nice change of pace and step away from, constantly, trying to promote the adult events and get people to come back out after COVID to go over to the kids course. It's just, a bunch of happy kids that are like, I love obstacles. I'm like, sweet, let's go.
Yeah, the kids seem like they were having so much fun, and that you have essentially a permanent facility there. You could tell that like people there have built relationships. When I went down there, like people are calling each other by names, they're cheering each other on, and they recognize each other obviously, and then it's a cool little community. It's like a tight knit little outdoor gym type experience.
Yeah, it's neat, and it's specifically cool because, this literally is the first group of kids who have ever grown up going, oh, I'll go to OCR today. It's kind of awesome and neat, and it's something that we need to keep. Everyone needs to keep doing. If you're an adult and you listen to this, I know you probably don't care about kids OCR, but you should, because that's really what's going to keep funding this when you're not 25 or 30 anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And then from the kind of the pro elite athlete side, I'm really excited to see what a 25-year-old who's been training for 15 years looks like, because they're just going to be insane, right? I mean, the running and the absolute proficiency, someone who's building their training around OCR from a young age versus most of us who are athletes from other sports that ended up crossing over. So besides obviously keeping the industry going, the elite level is gonna be wild. Yeah,
it's insane. I have some 9-year-old boys and girls, mostly girls, who can easily one-hand the bowling pin and just keep going on the rig. And I'm like, okay.
Amazing.
I can't really do that, but good on you. So yeah, the athletes coming up are going to be ridiculous. Even when they're in high school, they're going to be crazy good. So I'm excited to see these kids, get their jerseys and really start going out. Because by the time they're 14 or 15, they'll be doing the Battle of Lions. They'll be doing the big adult courses easily.
Yeah. Awesome.
We have a competition on this Saturday. It's a 1 mile course, and then they're going to build up from there. So by the end of the year, they'll be doing a 5K course.
Awesome. Yeah.
So they're coming for you guys.
And I'm already starting to, I'm trying to lure them to the endurance side too. I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but I'm going to donate my extra belt buckles to Young Lions. I'm going to donate about 10 to you and 10 to
Yes.
Lionhearts OCR. It's another youth course out in Tennessee-Georgia border. And, the goal is for them to basically do my ultra event, but spread out over several days, weeks, months. So kind of give them something like a consistent goal to work towards. So I'm going to pass those
I had
off.
forgotten about that. We're actually going to.
Yeah, I'll pass those off to you in Dallas.
This delay is bad.
Yeah, it's so super annoying.
Yes, and I'd forgotten about that, but we're counting our mileage. We just started 2 weeks ago. We're counting our mileage, so they're going to have to get up to whatever it was that set amount before they get their buckles. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. All right, let's.
But I got to tell you, Evan,
go.
You're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time convincing them to get over to the endurance side because they don't want to run.
Yeah, you got to find the kid. You got to find the kid who is constantly coming in the back of the pack or coming in last place. He wants to go endurance because that was me. And then you run so long that people are like, well, you're not very fast, but I mean, it's pretty impressive how far you can go. And you're like, thank you. And then gradually that starts making you faster at shorter distances. That was my method, at least.
I love it. That's great. Well, cool. Well, thank you again for having me on, dude. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, is what it is. I blame, what hotel am I staying at? Marriott. I blame Marriott. Oh, well.
Sounds good.
All right, before we go, any final shout-outs you want to give?
I'll tell a quick Sid story. So we were doing a South Carolina build the other week, and this dude literally cuts his thumb in half approximately with a chainsaw right at the end of the day while we're trying to finish the build. So, a glove and some Gorilla Tape, and we were back good to go and finished the build up. So that's the kind of shenanigans you guys have to look forward to. Hopefully his wife doesn't listen to this.
Amazing.
That's my final shout out.
That's good. I'm going to give a shout out to continue to follow OCR World Championships on the Adventury, the OCR World Championships website. I've got a bunch of more articles coming out. I submitted a bunch to them. I've got a bunch that are currently backlogged on Motoring Guide. So those should be coming out soon. I got about 10 or 11 there. I got some product reviews. And then I started publishing articles weekly on Strength and Speed again. So if you want more written content, I started writing some stuff over there. I just posted an article about, why you should still care about OCRs even if there's no prize money, basically kind of explaining some of the other benefits and perks I've received through non-prize money races. And I've got some articles on just some thoughts on the future of Tough Mudder, and got some thoughts coming out on Spartan World Championships in Abu Dhabi. Some of my thoughts on that. But a lot of op-ed type stuff coming out on Strength and Speed. Adventury is a lot more, training focused. So more if you're looking for like obstacle-specific tips. And then Mud Run Guide, I got a lot of reviews coming out on there, including a bunch of High-Elite stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, some exoskin stuff for the compression shorts. And then also, I think I got a GPS review coming out soon. Once I don't actually have the GPS watch yet, but it's that new one that Spartan partnered with. What's it called? T-Rex or something? I don't know. And then on top of that, Bobby Ross, me and Bobby Ross are, it's called the Amazfit T-Rex Pro Military Gauge Smartwatch. That's what it's called. And felt like I was a good person to review it because one, they're arguing like the tough angle, and I literally treat my watches like complete garbage. Like I just completely trash them, right? Like I'm really rough on them. And it also does some.
Yeah, OCR will do that. Yeah.
It does some pulse ox readings too, which again I think based off of my OCR mill 21,000 feet, I've been doing a lot more research on oxygen saturation and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how it performs in a watch form that's not specifically designed for that. Like the pulse ox reader I had was like specifically designed, and I bought it because that's like the only thing it did. It didn't do anything else. Just measured my blood oxygen saturation. And if you haven't heard, we did hit $5,000 in we actually hit over $5,000 in whatchamacallit, OCR Mill 21,000 Feet fundraiser. So thanks to everyone that donated. Make sure I read your names out on the next podcast because we had some enormous donations. Some of you Midwest people, I mean, just killing it with donations. So just so thankful for all you guys have been doing to support that. And I got one more Ultra OCR fundraiser next year, my seventh one that I'm going to do. You got to stick around to figure out what that is, though. And Bobby Ross, Stoke Shed has just got a lot of awesome things coming down the pipe. We got an Aurora heated jacket, kind of like commercial type thing. We got we're working with Mud Gear in about 2 weeks, and we're gonna shoot some video content and some photo content for them. Again, some more Bobby Ross stuff, and then on top of that, working on the Ultra OCR Man documentary, kind of putting some touches on that, and then hopefully have it out by this summer. And just also got some really good news for that that I'm not gonna share publicly yet because the company hasn't announced it yet. But I got some really good news coming, and it's really going to help with kind of pushing that documentary forward, which will hopefully continue in our continued fundraiser. So lifetime total, and I say our lifetime total, right, because it was my charity events, but the money's coming from the listeners and from the people who are supporting and donating. Our lifetime total is over $26,000 for Folds of Honor, which is pretty awesome. I'm a lot more than I ever thought I would kind of raise when I started doing stuff like this. So just thank you so much for that. And what else? I got so much stuff, man. I'm just like, I feel like a lot of the OCR world is
so many things going.
I feel like a lot of the OCR world is just giving up, and it just makes me angry, and I just push down harder. I'm like, you want to, like, all right, I'll just start producing more. So working on.
Go back to your just keep running longer and longer thing.
Yeah, I'm working on two working on two abbreviated books. They're not OCR focused, but they're related to fitness and OCR. And I think I was actually just editing both of them today, and I think they're going to be awesome. And my goal for those two, again, because they're not OCR specific, my goal is to hopefully reach a broader audience. And the idea is that if I can reach a broader audience, then they'll be like, well, what is this OCR, right? Because I reference OCR a ton in the book because that's where most of my examples come from. I'm going to try to like pull people in from other endurance sports and fitness places to kind of back into the OCR world. So keep following along. So much good stuff coming. All right, that's it. I got to slap some music on the front and back end of this bad boy, and we're going to push this out and check Battle of the Lions because so much news coming tomorrow. Dave, thanks again.
Absolutely, there is. All right. Thank you, sir.
We'll catch you later.